Mall Santas of Reddit, what is the weirdest thing a kid asked for Christmas? After waiting 2 hours in line, my daughter asked Santa for a hot dog. My daughter asked for pancakes one year. It was very cute. But then I had to get up and make pancakes on Christmas morning instead of being lazy. My daughter is 2 and this was her first year talking to Santa. She asked for pancakes too. Reindeer eggs so he could start his own franchise. That kid's name? Jeff Bezos. That's just his real head. I'm a teacher. I had one of my most difficult, obstinate, button-pusher kids come in at recess to talk to me. He said he was worried he would not get what he really wanted, to be a real elf, move to the North Pole and make all the presents. He had tears in his eyes and was the most sincere I had ever seen. Made me really appreciate how hard life was at home. He just wished for a way out. When I was like 9, I wrote a goodbye letter to my parents telling them Santa was going to pick me up and take me to the North Pole. I sat out in our car and waited on Santa to show up and take me away. The most dumb thing about this was that it was the middle of the summer. That's not dumb. They gotta make the presents year-round. Source materials, coordinate shipments, hire contractors, repair machinery. It's a year-round business. Summer would actually be prime time to hire. Many years ago, a small girl would not tell her mother what she wanted for Christmas. Mom told me the problem and I was to tell her after the kid jumped off my lap. The little girl hopped up and told me she wanted some makeup and some tits. Okay, now I have to tell Mom. Jimmy, you broke Santa. My uncle was a Santa and he told me that one year a kid asked for a coffee maker because he wanted to start his own Starbucks coffee stand instead of a lemonade stand. Apparently business was not very good as a lemonade stand, but he noticed a lot of adults drink coffee, so he'd make coffee. That kid is probably a millionaire now. My older daughter, 10, timed her lemonade stands for when there were open houses in the neighborhood and she could catch all the strangers coming to look at the new house. She also talked her sister into being the frontline seller because people like buying things from cute little girls with blue eyes. It was both some impressive observation and somewhat creepy how matter-of-fact she was about it. I just hope she doesn't end up becoming the next Elizabeth Holmes. She has a good instinct for marketing. I know the weirdest thing I asked for was a pen that could write like a pen, pencil, marker, and crayon. I'd never seen one but was sure Santa could make it. I got a 4-color pen instead. All they needed to do was put a marker on one, a crayon on another, and a pencil in the last. Good idea. Was a Santa at a party last week. A kid asked for a whistle that she could blow at night to wake her mom up and scare her when she was sleeping. I said no, that would put you on the naughty list, let your mom sleep you little gremlin. Mom laughed. Good Santa. I was an assistant manager for a mall Santa with no air programs. There was a special needs 20-something black guy that would come by nearly every day. He easily weighed more than 250 pounds, so we did eventually convince him to sit next to Santa instead of on his lap. Every time he had to remind Santa what he wanted for Christmas. His list was Home Alone on DVD, Straight Outta Compton on DVD, and Prince's 1999 album on CD. Santa was awesome and brought him the Prince CD a few days before Christmas. What year was this? Please say recently. 2016. That's beautiful. During college, I was a department store Santa. One little girl, with her mother looking on at a distance, whispered, "Please bring a boyfriend for mommy. Ever since daddy died, she's been so lonely. That's what I really want for Christmas, Santa." I looked up at her loving mother, and back at the girl, and felt a lump in my throat. Goddamn if this was a Hallmark movie, yet have asked the mom out and become that girl's stepfather. This is absolutely the plot of a movie. And a couple pornos. So literally last night we took my kids to see Santa and when asked what she wants for Christmas she says, "A surprise." Santa was so surprised he didn't know what to say. What is the surprise you can't keep us hanging? We won't know till Christmas. Shh. Just look in the closet. A piece of toast. I like bread. Username checks out. I like toast. I like bees and wasps. I like animals. Not a Santa, but I have been a Mrs. Claus for the last few years and I always ask the kids what they want while we do our crafts. My favorite was this 4 to 5-year-old girl that told me she wanted one of those loud horns. She made a gesture like she was using those canned air horns and she made a little horn sound. She said she wants to use it to wake up her baby brother when he naps in the daytime so he knows what it's like. Good reasoning skills. That kid's going places. For me to stop upholding this charade. You sit on a throne of lies. You smell like beef and cheese. I worked in Russia as snow maiden. This is a Christmas character here, Santa Claus' granddaughter. One of the children in a wheelchair asked to walk again. It was hard. UPD. For peoples who wanted funny answer. In my practice was a boy who wanted a girlfriend. He was 5 to 6 years. I was a Santa in 1997 for a small, authentic Old West village. I was 17 at the time and doing some local theater and the costume lady was asked to find someone to be Santa for the weekend. She told me she thought of me because well you're not fat, but you're big, I'm 661.98. So I put on a cheap costume that didn't fit well and then the beard smelled like the last Santa threw up in it, and I waited in a prop shed in the plaza that was normally a sheriff office or something. Tall, skinny, smelly Santa in a shed sitting on a plastic lawn chair. It was no wonder all the children screamed when they were put on my lap. None of them asked for anything in fact, as they were too busy being scared of me. I had a pair of girls and later a pair of guys from the local Christian high school dressed as elves on the first day to take Polaroids and collect money. On the second day they flaked and I was by myself all day. I charged people money to enter my creepy shed and take pictures of their own kids. Except for one young lady who was probably older than me and severely mentally disabled. Her parents were so apologetic because she was too old but she sat on my lap and smiled at me with total naked joy. I can still see her face 20 years later. That last part is really heartwarming. Not a Santa, but when I was 4 I asked Santa to get rid of my dad's cancer. Santa cried, Mom cried, I was confused. Dad died on Christmas that year. Edit, thanks for the silver. Guess Dad finally got me something for Christmas. That entire statement was a roller coaster I was not prepared for. Out of all the sad responses here, this one really hit me. Not a mall Santa, my friend was one. He said that the weirdest thing he heard from a kid was a husband for his mom. That's sweet. Unless she already had a husband-boyfriend. When he was feeling better, my Phil looked just like a real Santa. I used to mess with him around Christmas when we were out and about with a quick Rudolph needs to get back to the pole, we need to hurry. I got a lot of really great looks from kids. The best was a shy little girl that came up and asked for some specific doll. Without missing a beat he says, I'm not sure what the heck that is, but I'll have Legolas look into it. He always acted grumpy about, but we all know he loved every second. Edit, thanks for the silver. I love reading these stories, I'll have to share them with him. My dad also looks like a Santa. Amusingly, he dresses more like a Hell's Angel or cowboy. He never was a biker or anything, but big guy, long hair, leather jacket, so many kids would be like, look, Mom. Santa. Or it's a cowboy, and the parent would turn to look and just a look of oh, no. On their face and rush the kids off. Honestly, Dad is a big softy, so he is amused by both reactions. He told me recently a guy came up to him and said, I've been real good this year. And Dad replied, okay, what do you want her to look like? And the guy gave him a weird look and said, oh, I'm not into that. And then later Dad saw him walking arm in arm with another guy. Pretty sure Dad was being hit on. XD. He wanted a big old bear for Christmas. Lol. Not a mall Santa, but once my sister asked Santa if she could have a horse's head and an ice cream cone. She explained that she was going to paint the ice cream cone the color of the horse, stick it on, mount the horse's head to the wall and tell her friends she killed a unicorn. She doesn't remember. Such a sweet little chew, my God. I know. She scares me. She's 7 now.